So it's been 7 years that I have owned the photo that I believe is Joseph Smith. It was October 7th, 2017, when I reached out to Gregory because I'd seen on his eBay store. And on that, so I guess on the 6th, I went to work. I worked till really late, like 10 p.m., and was driving home and felt the spirit super strong. And felt like after the whole summer of 2017, analyzing this photo and just trying to find a high resolution copy to let whoever either received it. I thought the church got it. I thought he just gave it to them, or I didn't know. And so here you can see here I am reaching out to him, and then I'll show more of what he states here, but it's still in my possession. I do not have it offered anywhere. Okay, we don't. Well, if you don't, I don't know. And he was scared, and then he's like, I'm like, no. This is a real account. I just didn't add any. I didn't have any friends on there, so he thought I was just being mean to him. And I found other Facebook accounts mocking him in 2021 and just calling him a schizo. And I kept finding someone saying that same attack when Shannon Tracy was interviewed recently. I'm like, is this the same person? This person was mad in 2021, calling him schizo, calling me schizo. Anyway, that was a little bit sad to see that people are totally copying his page, and it's not him just to make fun of him. I don't understand that. I really don't understand it. But he said, and then here's me asking Magic O Circle, is that the story? And he's like, no, but it will be sold. And then here's where it's going to be sold here. Here's what will be listed. There are 2 other CDV family photos from that album for sale there. And I bought one, and then he said there's 2 tins from an album that came out, but the CDV photos are from this Chicago area one. So it's really confusing what he said. So I bought a tin. So I didn't buy from the same album, I guess, because he was obsessed with Pamela Smith and not related to Joseph Smith, not associated. That's how he ended up with this. Now I realize, having really researched him, looked at his Facebook page, and I remember it was all this Pamela Coleman Smith. I'm like, there are all these other Smiths, you might catch that from my other video, that are nothing to do with Joseph Smith, but he's not trying to convince anyone that it's Emma Smith or in these pictures. But he had a younger one that he thought was Emma Smith. There was one older later in years. I don't know what happened to that. Someone was convinced of the older one that he thought was Joe Smith Sr. Maybe it was. It said a diviner, and it said he was from Vermont. I don't know. I never saw it. I don't know if it has to do with the stamp on the back or what. But yeah, here he is. Now I'm seeing the back of it for the first time. I'm seeing this really nice, he had a really good photo of it. And he said it was a photo of a daguerreotype, which is what Godwin Weaver concluded. And I was like, oh, really? He was right, And there's some guy, so it was an antique books dealer from Salt Lake City that was becoming interested in this, and he thought I was going to buy it, and then I bought it first. And I'm pretty sure I talked to that antiques books dealer in 2022, like in May, and then 2 months later, the fake one came out. Now I'm mad. And then here she is. So this one was one that was like a woman that just said it was a Mrs. Smith. But it, if he was trying to convince people it was Emma Smith, it was Emma Smith. And I realized, he doesn't think it's Emma Smith. It's just someone that's related. And in my memory, she looked a lot like Bertha Smith. I'm just saying, Bertha Madison Smith. That's why I was looking at her picture right before, because our paper was about to be published. I was trying to find anything out that I could, and emailing him even more. I'm not going to go through everything. He's like, here it is. Made it private for you. Okay, I'm going to be listing a bunch of... It's like, you bought it for full price? This is all real from Facebook. Yep. And then here I am years later trying to ask him questions and find things out, and all the scans were on a computer that was dead, which I guess at that point was 3 years after this, but it had been 11 years since he had been trying to sell the photos from the Smith ID'd family album. But yeah, I'm just going to show this part right here. I don't live in this area anymore, but you can see it's Magic O Circle. You can see that matched from the Facebook page. This is eBay. This is real. This is not fake. These are real links. If I clicked on that, it would go to a now defunct page because obviously it's not for sale anymore. But here's his page. So if you were the Mormon from California or the antiques book dealer that apparently, I asked him, like, who bought most of the Smith ID family album, like the pictures that are related to this guy. And he's like, oh, a filmmaker in Utah and an antiques books dealer. And so I made another trip. So in fall of 2021, I was there for a week, and that cost like $4,000 on my credit card. And then I just spent a weekend because I think I was still working, but I went to Salt Lake City just for a couple days and to talk to any antiques books dealers there in 2022 and talk to one and I think I talked to the one that's possibly multi-billionaire, and he admitted Gregory's name was very familiar. So I'm convinced he probably bought the rest of the pictures. So if he was convinced, do you guys still think it's fake? It's not. It's not fake. Or that it's just stupid. It's not stupid if he got involved. But like, why would he help me if he's found like all these amazing things? And I don't know if he's a good person. I don't know if he's a very active. I just don't know. I'm not going to say his name, but I was face to face with him. So, dude, if you have the pictures from the Smith ID family album that this picture came from, please just share the high resolution images with me. I'd keep the originals. You've clearly found, and you already have a ton of money. You already own a bunch of amazing stuff, but I'm not going to just give up and throw up my hands and sell this for $250, $300. I got a $50 coupon. It's been 7 years, you guys, as of yesterday. It's October 14th. And you can see like my whole journey. You see this video, this video, this video. So it was really just 3 videos that I made in summer of 2017. This is July 28th, 2017. You can see that nowhere in here is this a high resolution copy. Like even the sketch ended up being super. I'm like, why does this look so bad? And this is just how the app Procreate worked. And I'm using the sketch superimposition, looking at this going, wow, the corners of the mouth, the eyes fall into place. And this is an en masse, just dragging and dropping it in there. I think when did I first just drag and drop it? So that was the first. And then it got a little, widened and messed up a little bit there. And I'm still dragging that over. Let me see here. I was trying to figure out how to work this. Yeah, and it was getting a little morphed. It was like one of the worst superimpositions I'd ever did. But there it is, yeah, where I had it pretty well dropped on there, and I squinted my eyes. I'm like, I think I can see the corner of his. I can still kind of see it. Like there is a shadow right there. So I'm like, okay, there's that, and boom, boom. I keep this super short because this is just letting you guys know it's been 7 years. And again, begging, if you bought the rest of the family albums from the store of this picture that I bought, and so these were taken by Godwin Weaver. You can see that. And then you can see all of a sudden, October 17th is when I make this first video after owning it. And now I know and felt the Spirit tell me, look up his vest. And I did. And this is what I found. And I'm zooming in right there, and you can see. But all I knew in this video was that J.S. Bibbins lived in Newark, Illinois, and that some saints were living there when Joseph Smith was alive in 1844 in May. Here I'm looking at this artwork saying he did have a receded hairline. Like, it was receded. And no one had been arguing with me about anything. just look at that mark on his forehead and look at it right there. Do you see that? Like indentation right there? And do you see that? Anyway, with authentication, you have to see what decade of their clothing. Well, this is Lincoln in 1840s right there. So that collar and the scarf and, but the jacket even, I found much later, months, not much, but months later, that Sutcliffe Maudsley did sketch Joseph Smith with a jacket that looked more like that, with the darker upper on the lapel. And I'm thinking that this is a real painting of Joseph Smith Sr. I now know it's not. But now you see it's a high resolution copy. This is just 4 days later that I made this video. And you see sketched en masse. It matches so amazingly well. It's just at this point and around that and it wasn't until a year later that I tried doing sketch superimposition with just the individual features. And I just sketched the outline of my friend's photography. And I think it was in 2020. Actually, it was 2020, I'm sorry, where I really focused on a whole video about the hairline and injuries seen on the skulls and even on the death mask right there. But anyway, when I would just sketch the hairline, you can almost see it on the death mask and put it on here. It matches until about like right there. But I'm like, look at Catherine, her ears stuck out. Similar eye, nose, face shape. Similar ears. I'm like, the ears are like the same. So you can kind of look at that and then look at Catherine and see how much that ear sticks out. Like that. Look at that. So similar. So I'm like, okay, well, the ears sticking out seem to be a family trait. Same with Lucy, little Lucy. So, and then here you can see, like, I'm just looking at this. This is really high detail. You can see the paper fibers. So it's very clear that I'm just showing I definitely bought this. I didn't own it before. I did not know Gregory before. Yeah. Anyway, have a good day.